Caucus meeting for today, May 18th, 2020. My agenda actually is fairly short, but before I start, Mr. Sapienza, do you have anything that you would like to say? You're muted.
Deb, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't think so. We talked about everything in executive session,
Yes.
unless there's something that it slipped my mind.
Nope, not
Okay.
that I'm aware of.
All good.
Okay. Mr. Mazaka.
Mr. de Blasio, I don't have anything new that I haven't already discussed. Everything's going well in the special ed department.
Perfect. Mr. Mazaka has done a great job with special needs. All of my staff has done a great job. Mr. Mazaka, I commend you. How many children do we have that do not have a computer now?
Out of our approximately 700 kids, we're still hunting down one student to get them logged on, and I have a hotspot actually in the back of my truck because I even went and knocked on the door with no answer. So one student out of 700, so that's pretty good.
You're to be applauded with that. Great job, John. Great job. Ms. Sanders, Emily.
Nothing much to report. Things are going well with teaching instruction and professional development. And the big thing right now is switching over from ProSoft to our new Sapphire platform. So I'm like bogged down. We have trainings pretty much every day. And then we have like homework tasks that we have to do before the next training to get our system ready. So we are trying to quickly schedule, get the high school kids course scheduling sheets out to schedule within Sapphire because we are not using ProSoft for that. So scheduling is a little bit behind schedule, but it's a fabulous tool. I mean, what we're using, I think the principals and counselors love it. So thank you.
And I could say this again, the team has been phenomenal. They have been doing a great job working under these uncertain situations, and they continue to do good. And Emily, I thank you for everything that you did for the equity of education, the plan. Thank you very much. Okay, resignation and retirements. Board approval is needed to accept the following resignation and retirements as presented. Mary Ann Shropshire, PCA, has submitted her retirement effective June 8th, 2020, close of the day. Jack Koza, custodian, has submitted his retirement pursuant to the ERI of the current collective bargaining agreement effective June 30th, 2020, close of the day. Terry Miller, custodian, has submitted his retirement pursuant to the ERI of the current collective bargaining agreement effective June 30th, 2020, close of the day. I'd like to congratulate all of them. They've done a great job and wish them well in their retirement. Okay, the following individuals have also submitted their retirement pursuant to ERI in the current collective bargaining agreement and the recently or soon to be recently approved ERI package and any additional financial incentives that may become available. These retirements will be effective of June 8th, 2020 at the close of day. Lynn Feria, grade 1 at Harry W. Lockley. Romeo Pacelli, business education at the Newcastle Senior High School. Donnie Runyon, history teacher at the Junior Senior High School. And Rebecca Szymanski, business education teacher at the Newcastle High School. Any questions? I commend all 4 of those teachers for doing a great job. Lawrence County Career and Technical Budget. We're going to need actions requested relative to attach the Lawrence County Career and Technical Center budget for the 2019-20 school term. The overall budget is $6,991,212. The operating cost of school is $5,281,250. The proposed budget reflects $12,500 per student and $17,250 for special education students. The regular education cost is an increase of $250 from last year and 0 increase for special ed students. Any questions? Okay. I'm going to ask that a vote be taken at the regular meeting as we talked about for I'm sorry, let's do the VOAG student first. We have a VOAG student that would like to attend Laurel. So upon the return of traditional school, and what I mean by traditional school, if we're still in a cyber, or I'm sorry, a virtual school, not cyber, in a virtual school or in a hybrid school, this is something that we will reconsider. So I use the word traditional so that you know what I'm asking you to vote on in the event that we go back pre-COVID-19 school. I'm asking that board action is needed to approve the request of a student as stated in section 1809 of the school law of Pennsylvania to attend the Laurel Area School District so that he may participate in the vocational agricultural program for the 2020-21 school year through his graduation. If at any time his legal residence ceases to be in the Newcastle Area School District, the district will no longer pay tuition. Okay, any questions? And finally, for me, unbelievable, short and sweet. Board action is requested to approve the attached MOU relative to the secretary's vacation days. And that's all I have. Any questions? Okay, very good. Joe?
Yes, thank you, Debbie. My first item that I'm going to talk about are the financial reports. I'm going to actually have those available on Thursday with the projections for 2019-20 and also with the budget of 2020-21. The budget obviously would be a working document all the way up until June 30th, but we have some compliance issues with dates, and we'll talk more about that on Thursday. The treasurer's report, it's on Exhibit B. That will need board action. The travel request, which there aren't any, I don't believe, but Exhibit C and C1, there are no travel reports. Student activity reports, I'm sorry, on Exhibit C and C1. There was no activity this month. However, in May, there is a couple checks that you'll see on the May agenda, but there was no activity other than interest earned in student activities. Item 12 are the district payments. The only ones you'll see on there this month is the cafeteria fund. Next month's meeting, you'll see all the payments listed, all as a group as one. That has to do with part of our rebuilding. Emily touched on it briefly about student accounting. We had to rebuild the financial side as well. There's repository properties that would need voted on. They're on Exhibit G, and again, we take the recommendation of the city. Item 14 is dental insurance. We were able to renew our dental with United Concordia with One Digital of Wexford, PA, acting as a consultant for an additional 12 months. This is going to be a freeze. They initially came in with a 3% increase, and instead of us going to shop it, because when I shopped it just with our business managers, it really, our pricing wasn't that bad, but they still, for 1 year, they're going to hold a rate freeze. And that's all on Exhibit G, so all the details on there. Item 15 are the fiduciary bonds, and that's to cover the secretary, which is me, the treasurer, the business manager. And those are going to be asked to be voted upon for the next school year, 2020-21. And it's a requirement that I'm covered under a bond. And the treasurer, Jack Camrott's also covered. The couple things we talked about, I just want to see if there's anything under matters of information. In June, the June meeting, I just wanted to let the board know that we have to have our auditor come in for about 15 minutes to a half hour to review the 2018-19 financial situation, financial results of the school district, and that's Philip Weiner. So somehow, you know, whether we're in person or we're doing Zoom again, they'll be on Zoom and they'll present. Before that meeting, I'll make sure everyone has a copy of the budget, because you remember that's that thick book, and not the budget, I'm sorry, the audit. And they'll go through and he'll reference page numbers with you. But I'll make sure I get that to everyone's home. And as far as healthcare, right now, we're still in this year, we're through the month of March, and we have about $1.5 million, $1.6 million surplus. So not only the last 2 years been really good, this year with us still having a surplus, it's been great. And that's why our health insurance only increased 4% this year. And that's all I have other than the board agenda.
Mrs. Fleo, may we go right into the voting board meeting?
Yep, sounds good. Hey, there was just one thing, the matters of information, the cheerleading coach.
The cheerleading coach, yeah, we have talked about that. I wanted, in the matters, and I'm sorry if I missed it. Just wanted to let you know that is a job that he resigned, and that job will go up for bid in the bargaining unit.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks. Yeah, we could go right into public.
I got one quick question. So Joe,
Yes.
so as it relates to the repository issue, I know we've typically followed the recommendations of the city.
Yes.
So what happens if we ever go against the city in one of these issues? What happens?
Well, if we would go against the city and vote no, we're allowed.
Mhm.
How it works is, though, all 3 governmental agencies within Lawrence County, which is the commissioners, the city council, and the mayor of the city, and the school district. If one of us vote no, then the repository doesn't get approved. So it has to be a consensus, all 3 of us. We can, if there's an issue that we feel strongly about, I haven't really studied them because our rule was, not our rule, but originally they know who's buying these properties.
Mhm.
And if the city has an idea that these aren't going to be people that are going to take care of their homes or take care of the land that they bought or they have all the right in the world to say no. They could reject them. So I would always reject because they have code enforcement. We don't have code enforcement.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean, Robert, that we have to agree to everything that they do. I don't know if that helps. I've always have, probably after the first month that this started happening, because they really never had a repository where they would sell these properties out of. It would only go to sheriff's sale and then clean when they waived the taxes and everything else that somebody
Mhm.
this property. So is there a reason? Did something come up, or you just in general?
Yeah, so I'm looking in here, and it looks like so my understanding is this piece of property downtown, I think it was the old Black Label or what was the bar called? Blackwell Inn or whatever.
I remember, I know where you're at, and it's additional
Blackwell.
parking. And then
Yeah, so it's my understanding that there's essentially a battle between Mr. Mims and another local businessman to buy the property. And it's also my understanding that, and again, this is hearsay, that the Eagles are supposedly buying the old Lanigans contingent upon parking downtown. And so, this was denied. Obviously, it says because there's lack of a second motion.
you're right.
Is that true?
I'm familiar with all the above, everything you
So,
said.
I just don't, if somebody's willing to buy it and they can't buy it because of politics, I just, I'm not opposed to rejecting it if a business is going to go in and they're going to use it for parking.
But can I give you the logic behind the city and economic development?
Sure.
Their logic is that they didn't want a nonprofit, a club, to be on the main street of Newcastle in the downtown area.
Gotcha.
And that's what I heard. Now, is that enough of a reason for them to say, we're not looking to put, do they have the right to say that you can't purchase it? It's just, I don't think they have the right to say you can't purchase it, but I don't believe the Eagles can purchase it without that additional parking. So it's up to you guys. I mean, I have absolutely they wouldn't get it anyway, though, because the city's going to vote no, and all 3 have to vote.
Right, I understand. I just disagree with their logic because Kaufman's Corner is right on East Washington Street. That's a nonprofit for the drug and alcohol.
Yeah, but maybe they're trying to clean it up. I don't know. I mean, maybe
But I
they're
understand.
saying one's enough. Yeah.
I understand.
So
I was a nonprofit for years. One of the things I always felt was unfair. Probably 30 to 35% of the nonprofits in this county, a lot of them are in the city, they don't pay no taxes, which included my agency, which at one time I wanted to at least contribute 1%. But the rest of the nonprofits went
Nice of
bananas
you.
and wanted to hang me.
But Norm,
I
you're
know,
exactly.
huh?
You're exactly right. They think that they could get a restaurant, you know,
They buy
something
buildings
different.
people might want. And when I suggested that, I think at a United Way meeting or somewhere, for executives meetings, we all had leftover funds, as you folks know. If you underspend, you're allowed to retain so many dollars. Well, why don't we contribute 1% of what overage? For example, you had 300,000, 1%, 2%, or 5% paying taxes. Well, the churches went crazy. I got letters from probably half the nonprofits. What am I trying to pull? And I just felt it's totally unfair that all the nonprofits, and I believe at the time, Joe, there were 35% of the properties, pretty darn close to it.
Yep.
The
Not
nonprofits
paying taxes. Yep.
not paying taxes. That hurts all of us, and it hurts the taxpayers. So
That was the city's logic, but I just, like I said, we've always went with them, but we do not have to. If we want to change our vote to say, yes, we're willing to sell it to them, then let's do that. I mean, it's
I'm
just,
against selling any more property to nonprofits. I quite honestly, because we need the tax revenue too. If they're totally exempt, that includes my church and every other church and every nonprofit there is. Unless you can show justification that you're not making money.
yep. Norm, that you're exactly right. The city's rationale, the only way they could stop a sale for this property is to stop the sale of or the purchase of the property that they're asking to purchase through the repository. Now, Chuck,
Yeah, I'm here.
you hear? Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, the city couldn't stop a sale between the previous owner of Lanigan's and the Eagles Club.
That's correct. They couldn't.
They
What
can
they
block
can't.
it, and they're blocking it. And Bubbers is right, and I don't know if that's a good thing. You know, I just went along because of what they're trying to do in the downtown and the main street of the downtown area. Whether it will ever happen, I don't know.
The city nor the school district or anybody can block a sale between two private individuals. However, because of the city's code enforcement rules and regulations, they can go in and inspect and tell the prospective seller, prospective buyer what they need. It can be anything that's in violation of code. You see a lot when a piece of property is purchased and you have to fix a fence, or you have to cut the grass, or you have something wrong with your plumbing, things like that. So I'm not familiar with what's going on as well as obviously you and Mr. Lyles, but you hit the nail right on the head, Joe, when you said that they have the infrastructure to make determinations regarding what's going to be, you know, who's going to own the property and what they're going to do with it. I mean, that being said, I would agree. If it's reversed, if the city says yes and we say no, just like you said, it doesn't sell. And same thing goes for the county. So, you know, to answer your question, no, they can't block it if it's two private individuals. They can make things a little tough, but not block it.
Let me say one other thing as to nonprofits. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. They do a tremendous job. There's no end ifs or buts. The community needs them. You know, basically at what price? I will never slam them. They do a good job, and you'd have to change the 501c3 statute, which says they're exempt. And we're not going to do that at our level, but I'd rather see business. I'm sure Pat pays taxes in his business, and
Sure he does.
So
Yeah.
they're good agencies. Don't get me wrong, but at some point in time, if you have a massive amount of banked money as a nonprofit, I believe that you should contribute. We tried to volunteer. We couldn't volunteer because every agency would have killed us. We'd have set a precedent.
Yeah, but the whole issue here for me is this has nothing to the purchase of this piece of property. You know, the owner would reserve the right to lease the property to whoever he wanted. So, you know, that's my contention. You know, the sale of Lanigan's is a completely I mean, it's two different issues.
Well, here's what I'm telling you. If I bought a property tomorrow and rented it out to a nonprofit, I'm going to pay the tax. If the nonprofit buys the property in and of itself for the nonprofit's business, I will not pay taxes. You understand what I'm saying there?
Mm-hmm.
Debbie,
Yeah.
I think you understand, and so does Joey, and I hopefully believe if I can understand, a lot of you folks can.
Yeah,
If you're
I
renting from
understand
someone
more.
Huh? Yeah, if you're renting from someone that owns the property owner's paying the taxes.
Robert is exactly right. This is an issue with, I don't know if it's a personal issue. They didn't explain it to me that way. I've never really, this is the first I've seen in, I'm going to say 7 or 8 years, where it said didn't pass for failure of a second vote. So somebody made the motion, but there was no second. And so it could be political. It could be the way it was explained to me through my colleague at the city is that they don't want on the main street right now another nonprofit. And that's,
Well, I got a call, Joe, from one of the people that wanted property downtown. I told him, don't call me again. Call Joe or Debbie.
yep.
One of the guys who wanted to buy the property because it's none of my business.
So with that said, Stacy or Chuck, do you think we should take a vote on this one?
Well, yeah, I think we should obviously take the vote, and I think
Yeah.
it's going to be up to the board to determine whether or not you're going to go with the city or not.
I'm going to do it separate on the board agenda, and I'll read off names because I think there's actually 2 of them, and I'll look through
Do
my
we
stuff.
want to
right
table this
You want
see-
to, Karen? Maybe that's
to
best.
see if we can get a little better understanding
Yeah.
of their rationale for the rejection?
I like that better, Karen.
Days?
Or that's fine.
Buffers, are you okay with that? Just so we could.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yep,
with it.
I want to find out really what's going on. Chuck, you're okay?
Yeah, because this is the first time I'm hearing of it. So yeah, we need to talk a little bit, and I'll figure it out too.
Okay.
If we're going to table it, we need a motion to table, and then obviously a second and a vote.
Chuck, this is just a work session.
Caucus meeting, right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
So
well,
I
we'll
just
need
won't
that.
read it off.
We'll need that later. Right.
And for the minutes, it won't reflect any vote on repositories.
Well, I'll put it in the agenda. Yeah, read it off so it's on the agenda. So when it comes up, it can be tabled at that point. Or you want to
Okay.
pull it, or you can pull it right off, whatever
I
you
just
decide
wanna-
to do.
It's
Whatever
going to be
this-
on the agenda though, because nobody's here to read but if we take a 5 or 2 minute recess, Debbie, I could have it retyped.
Okay, let's take just like a 2-minute one. Yep.
Are we
Wait,
done
Joe,
with
what
caucus?
do you want to do? You
I
want to
just
put it
want to
on?
take it off the agenda.
Okay.
I'm just going to say there was no vote. It wasn't tabled, unless you think it's better to say it was tabled.
No, we don't have to table it. No, I mean,
I just didn't
President-
put them on.
yeah, caucus is for what's going on the agenda. And Mrs. Fleo had indicated, no, we're okay. So take it off the agenda at this point, and we'll revisit it next month.
Okay.
Okay, so we need about a minute or 2 recess before we go into public. So you
All
Hold
right.
it, Debbie. I need help. I got everybody on a screen. How do I go to an agenda and keep you folks on the screen?
Okay, Emily, that's going to be for you because I have 2 screens. I know how to do it. So how does he get on? I didn't make public live yet. So, and I won't make it live until we get the new agenda.
I got you all on the screen. I still have a half of the screen to the right of it. There's nothing
Yeah,
else.
I just minimize my video screen with you guys, and I just follow along with the agenda.
Oh,
I don't see your
So I
face.
can minimize the Zoom meeting.
You minimize the top, that
You
one
can
line,
minimize.
Norman.
So that little minus sign at the top,
Yes.
you'll just see the person that's talking, Norman.
I just minimized it.
Yep.
No, you're-
So whoever's talking, you'll see just that one little corner square, and then you can look at the agenda while they're talking.
Hey, thank you.
Are you on board docs now?
I'm on, I got Emily at the right, the only person I got in the screen. And I got Zoom in the center of the center of the screen with join the meeting underneath and sign in. Should I go to board docs?
Yes, go to board docs now. You could also,
Let's see, contact user conference, products, success stories, resources, blog, news about. I still got Debbie at the right-hand side now. User conference, contact support.
no. Go to, maybe the easiest way, Emily, would be for him to go to the web and get on.
Yeah, nor you just have to type in your URL. You want to go to the NCASD or boarddocs.com or however you get on board docs normally.
Do you get on it through the web page, or do you get on it just typing board docs in, Norm?
You're talking to someone who's still riding a horse and buggy. So, you know, I'm gonna have to call my wife over here and tell her to help me. Go ahead, continue. I can hear you all.
Hey,
Yeah, but
Debbie,
you want to see the agenda? Yeah, Joe?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to table it because I think Abby left.
Okay.
So
Well,
just
then I'm going to
table it.
tell them to go ahead and make the agenda public. And Mrs. Fleo, if we could start the meeting?
Yeah, I just have a question. So, okay, so we're not tabling this for like a political, we're finding out why, because like, we're not tabling this because of a political reason, right? Because somebody wants somebody to get this property.
No,
I mean,
no, Steve, it's opposite.
okay,
If this is truly for the right reason, that they're doing it for economic development, and they think that in 6 months or a year, that they could put a tax-paying business in there as opposed to a nonprofit business,
right.
that's how it was explained to me.
So that's why the city denied it?
The city denied it because they were going to move the Eagles Club, and then in their minds, the Eagles Club's going to be run down and worth nothing in the city. So that's just going to be another bad building in our city.
Okay,
So economically, they felt the right thing to do was to do this, but I'm not so sure. We'll find out. I mean, we'll have another
Okay.
3 weeks to figure it all out, but it's not like there's a second purchaser or anything on the property.
yeah, right. That was my question.
understand.
Are we tabling this for somebody else to
For some-
buy it, that somebody has somebody in mind?
Nope.
Because you know how politics, it works for some, it doesn't work for others,
Yes,
So,
Yep.
okay, just so
Yep.
we have that straight.
we do.
Okay. Okay, we can, you want to start the public meeting?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What time is it? 6:27. Okay, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silent reflection? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
which
For
it
which it
stands,
stands, one nation,
under
under God,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty,
and
liberty,
justice.
justice
justice
for
for
all.
Okay, this meeting is now called to order. Joe, are you secretary then?
Yes,
Okay, Joe, would you please call the roll?
yes. Mr. Pinella,
Here.
Mr. Fonatero, Mr. Laus, Mr. Laus? I know
Here.
you're here. Okay.
Here.
All right. Miss Pascarella? Not here. Miss Rankin?
Thumbs up.
Miss Humphrey?
Here,
And I know Stacy's here. Who did I miss? Oh,
Mr. Moses.
Mr. Moses.
Here,
Mr. Moses is there. 3, 4.
Pat.
And Pat Amabel.
Yeah,
Pat.
I'm sorry. I thought I called you Pat. Mr. Amabel's here. All right, Stay.
Okay, thanks, Joe. The
Welcome.
board has a policy that permits residents and taxpayers who have signed up to speak before the board with a 5-minute time limit. Please try to adhere to this policy. Also, please refer all questions to the chair, not to individual board members. Do we have anybody sign?
Mike, do we have anyone signed up?
No.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Something happened to Stacy.
I know. She froze.
She froze.
You want to keep?
Want me to text her real quick?
Yeah,
All right.
she'll get right back. Well, she got off.
I texted her.
Did you mute it? Joe,
Debbie,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe.
you don't see her anywhere?
She's not on here.
Fine,
yet.
Lily.
She probably has to come back in. Mike has to let her in.
Yeah, give it a second. As soon as I see her pop in.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, okay, good.
I'm assuming you can still hear me.
We are.
Yep, we hear you, Norm.
All right, thank you.
Dawn just texted me and said that you just need to refresh if you do not have the public agenda on board docs. But you should have got it automatically, but then bet you didn't.
All right, Stacy's back in now.
Stay.
Here she is.
Here she is.
Good, all right.
Sorry. I got knocked out for some reason. I don't know. Okay, where were we at?
Debbie's just starting.
Okay.
Or did we approve the
Did we
minutes
do
of the
that?
last meeting?
Okay, did we,
No.
okay, so there was nobody signed up? Nobody
No.
signed up to speak, okay. And may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the April 20th, 2020 board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Mrs.
know what I'm
DeBlayfield
going
will
to
now
do?
give the superintendent's report.
I'm going to keep Tracy on my, so I get these thumbs up or thumbs down. Just in
Okay.
case. Okay, Tracy.
Well,
All right, very good. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Fleo. Resignation and retirements. Board approval is needed to accept the following resignation and retirements as presented. Mary Ann Shropshire PCA has submitted for retirement effective June 8th, 2020, close of the day. Jack Koza, custodian, has submitted his retirement pursuant to the ERI of the current collective bargaining agreement effective June 30th, 2020 at the close of the day. Terry Miller, custodian, has submitted his retirement pursuant to the ERI of the current collective bargaining agreement effective June 30th, 2020, close of the day. May I take the teachers along with that?
yep,
Okay. The following individuals are also have also submitted their retirement pursuant to the ERI of the current collective bargaining agreement and recently approved ERI package and any additional financial incentives that may become available. These retirements will be effective June 8th, 2020, close of the day. Evelyn Feria, grade 1 teacher. Romeo Pacelli, business education teacher. Donald Runyon, history teacher. And Rebecca Szymanski, business education teacher.
So moved.
Second.
Mark.
discussion?
Will these
All in
people-
favor?
Excuse me, will these people be replaced?
No, they
Thank
will
you.
not through attrition, no.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All opposed? Okay.
Hey,
Wait, 1 minute, Mr. Moses, I may have, The custodians, there may be one that may need to be replaced, but as far as the professional staff and the PCAs, not at this time. We may need to replace one custodian, not sure yet.
As time
They're
goes
still
by.
working on that,
As time goes by. Thank you.
yes.
Okay, Deb.
Did you, I didn't hear the vote, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Did you vote on them?
I said all in favor.
Okay, I'm
Everybody
sorry.
said aye.
I
No
apologize.
opposed.
Okay, committee of a whole recommendation, Lawrence County Career and Technical Budget. Board actions requested relative to the attached Lawrence County Career and Technical Center budget for the 2019-20 school term. The overall budget is $6,991,212. The operating cost for the school is $5,281,250. The proposed budget reflects $12,500 per student and $17,250 for special education students. The regular education cost is an increase of $250 from last year and zero increase for the special education students.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I didn't see Tracy. Trey, okay, good, thank you. VOAG student, upon return of the traditional school day, board action is needed to approve the request of a student as stated in section 1809 of the school laws of Pennsylvania to attend Laurel Area School District so that he may participate in the vocational agricultural program for the 2020-21 school year through his graduation. If at any time his legal residence ceases to be within the Newcastle Area School District, this district will no longer pay the tuition. So may I explain what the traditional school is at the public meeting? Is I would like to say this is pre-COVID-19, where we will be back in the buildings and we will be attending school. That's what I mean by traditional. So I just wanted to let you know that.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay. The MOU for secretaries, board actions requested to approve the attached MOU relative to secretarial vacation days.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay,
Okay,
is that it, Mrs.
that's it for me,
Iglesias?
Mrs. Fleo. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Ambrosini will now give the business manager's report.
Thank you, Stace. The first item are the financial reports, and those will be presented at our June meeting. The next item is our treasurer's report with all of our balances. Those are listed on Exhibit B. And the student activity reports are listed on Exhibit C and C1, and at this time, all three require board action.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
The next item are travel requests. There are no travel. Item 11, district payments. The following district payments are presented for board approval, and they're listed on Exhibit E. And those are the cafeteria checks.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Chuck, I may need your help on this one. The next item are the repository properties. Board action is requested to approve the attached recommendations for the acceptance or rejection of the bid received for the purchase of properties through the Lawrence County Tax Claim Bureau from its repository. They're listed on Exhibit G.
Motion to table?
Yep,
Second.
Aaron table. Was that Mark?
Second. Okay. Any discussion? We don't have to do a roll call, right? We could just do all in favor?
Yes, you can do all in
Okay,
favor.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
The next item was our dental insurance. Board action is requested to approve a contract renewal with United Concordia Dental and One Digital of Wexford, PA, acting as consultant for an additional 12 months. Contract will expire, our initial contract to expire is June 30th, 2020. The monthly renewal rates will be remaining the same at $26.91 per single member and $72.66 per family, and that's on Exhibit G.
Joe, I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
So is there a fee to use a consultant for this?
I don't know how they earn. Yeah, I can't buy directly. We can't purchase directly off of United Concordia.
Okay.
You have to go through, I don't know, but what the line.
I understand.
Agent that
I understand.
offers. Okay,
Thank you.
welcome.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Sorry, Stace.
That's okay.
Number 14 are the fiduciary bonds. Board approval is requested to provide the fiduciary bonds for the following in accordance with section 431 and 436 of the Pennsylvania School Code. The secretary will be bonded for $75,000. The treasurer will be bonded for $100,000, and the business manager will be bonded for $100,000. And you can see the cost to the right. For all three of those, it cost us about $900.
Joe, I'm sorry, I got a quick question. Why is it treasurers higher than the business managers when there's the same amount of coverage? Why is the premium higher?
I'm not sure if age has anything to do with it or why, but I'll ask that question.
Okay.
I would hope we approve it tonight and then I'll find out why there's that difference.
I was just curious.
I'm curious too, because when you get a bond, obviously I have to provide all of my personal information plus a little more. Jack has to do the same thing.
Right.
So I'm not sure why Jack's would be $25 higher than mine. So I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay, I have, this is in addition to our caucus meeting. I mentioned it, but I wanted to take a vote on it here. Board action is requested to approve a negotiated contract with First Student in the amount of $90,000 for the 2019 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
There's 2 early retirement incentive options. Board action is requested to approve the following ERI early retirement incentive options for teachers for the 1920 school year. Option 4A would be anyone that's at least 56 years of age with 25 years of service. They'll receive the current ERI package plus $10,000. And option 5 would be any employee age 58 with at least 25 years of service, and they'll receive the current ERI package plus $10,000. Those are 2 people that we talked about this evening.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Guys,
Yeah.
okay.
That's all I have, Stace.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ambrosini. Is there any other new business to be brought before this board?
I was just curious, I forgot to ask, the phone system, the call system, did that get worked out?
It seems to be. It seems like we're getting, yeah. You mean as far as the Instant Connect? Yes,
Yeah.
it did. It got worked out. They have it fixed and everything. Yeah. I was worried about 2 o'clock in the morning phone calls being made, but we were able to get that all done. Yes.
Okay, good.
Uh,
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Meeting's adjourned.